What is a college essay? Here's what you need to know before you start writing. First, you want to know who is going to read your essay. So typically, at most colleges, there'll be two admissions counsels that might read your essay together as a team or separately. If they agree on the decision, that decision will move forward. At other colleges, there'll be a team of admissions professionals that will review every application, including the essay. So it fits into the rest of your application, which, keep in mind, includes your teacher and counselor recommendations, your standardized tests if you're submitting them, of course, your transcript, but also things like your family history, your contact information, and the history of where you've attended school. It might also include notes on any interviews you've done, as well as recordings of visits you've done online, or if you've been able to visit a campus in person. So as you can see, the personal essay is really the only place in the application where you get to share your own voice. It should highlight a personal quality or characteristic of value that is important to you and that won't be obvious to the reader of your essay from reading the rest of the application. You should tell a meaningful story that will bring that quality or characteristic to life. And you also want to reflect and make sure you make it clear why your story matters. It should show an understanding of yourself. The essay matters more at some colleges than others. More selective colleges pay a lot of attention to it, but the truth is a strong essay can help in a variety of situations. Essay dues. You want to make sure you sound like a high school student. So be careful about letting too many adults read your essay and comment on it. You want to make sure that you're not trying to sound like an adult or sounding so sophisticated that it doesn't really seem like a teenager wrote the essay. Be genuine and authentic in what you say. Sometimes students will say, well, I haven't done anything really amazing or interesting or traveled, so I don't really have anything to write about. But the truth is, the best essays share a small everyday moment from everyday life. And make sure this is something that only you could have written. As a Cornell admissions officer says, we want to put a face to that pile of paper. So again, remember, this is your opportunity to speak to the college directly. Things that you don't want to do. Sometimes people get very obsessed with the quality of the writing that they sometimes forget that the reflective message in the story is really what's important. Other students are so caught up in being creative that they come up with gimmicks such as, what does my love of board games say about me? And the problem with those kinds of gimmicky essays is that they've probably seen that essay before. Again, just tell a story that highlights something that's meaningful to you. You also do not want to confuse the personal essay with the 5-paragraph English class essay. For this piece of writing, there's no need for a thesis statement, an introduction, or a conclusion. The other thing to keep in mind is when you hear colleges talk a lot about passion and leadership, that might lead you to think that your essay should be a brag sheet of your accomplishments. But that's not really the purpose of the essay. Again, it's about you in a more personal, authentic way. So to sum it all up, you want to make sure you answer the prompt, which is a fancy word for a question. You want to make sure that you've conveyed a meaningful characteristic about yourself that's not something that would easily be known when the admission counselor reads the rest of your application. You want to tell a story to bring that characteristic to life. Let's face it, we all love stories. They're interesting to read, and otherwise, if it's all reflection, it could be dull to read. And finally, you do want to reflect a little bit on why the story you told matters and why it's meaningful. I wish you the best of luck in writing your college essay.